Okay, so what actually is the Ideas into Action program? Well, um, there are a few main highlights here. The first one is the group workshops. So we follow a curriculum. So people are talking about ideas, people are talking about funding, people are talking about registration, people are talking about financials, people are talking about developing the idea. We do all of that, which is great. We cover it all in a series of workshops from now until June. Okay. Now, the group workshops, I'll talk about them a little bit later. They are predominantly online with hopefully one in-person intervention, which we will let you know about. But they are all online for now. And we cover a range of topics for social enterprise and starting social enterprises. There is one-to-one coaching with Results CIC. Jane is going to talk about that shortly. And then there is one-to-one business support with myself and with Bija Soholo with Turn. Okay. So the workshops are is there are 10 online workshops. They are always on a Wednesday, except for tonight. And they're always on the same link, which is weareturn.org/workshop. So what you joined with tonight. They are always at 5:45 and they run until 8 p.m. If you miss them, it's okay. We are always recording them and we'll upload them so you can catch up afterwards. There are also bonus workshops, which Turn runs around social startups, and you can go to those, but they are optional. Please accept all of the invites which you would have got yesterday, because then you will get reminders about the workshops, but we'll also remind you in the WhatsApp group as well. As I said, there might be in-person interventions in London, but if we do that, we will give you more than enough notice to plan, and that will be a whole day training, which Jane and the guys from Results CIC will be delivering. But we will confirm that probably sometime in December or in January. The really exciting thing is that our workshops, except for this one, are not delivered by me or by Bija Soholo. They are delivered by alumni of the program who are real social entrepreneurs that have done this program, and they are going to teach you about all of the things you need to know for social enterprise based on their own experience. So we have workshop champions. We have Zainab Deria, who is the founder of Reviving Links, which is a cultural heritage organization looking to preserve heritage in younger generations in Somali communities. But also she's providing culturally sensitive care to older Somali communities in Northwest London. We have Fuad Al-Kadi, who's the founder of Shift Up. Shift Up is a training organization for young refugees and asylum seekers, centering lived experience participation for organizations that work with young refugees and asylum seekers. Fuad's going to come talk to us later today as well, which is really exciting. So he's going to talk to us about half an hour about his experience and what he's doing. And then we have Valerie Lamari as well, the founder of Women of Grace, which is a survivor-led FGM awareness organization leading workshops and advocacy projects on FGM in the UK and abroad. So these are our three amazing workshop champions. They are all alumni of Ideas into Action. They have worked with myself, with Jane, with Bija Soholo, and they want to come back and they want to teach you, which is really exciting as well. So that you will meet these guys over the coming months. And there will be some other champions as well that are in to help with facilitation in the workshops. How it works is we have the workshops, but we also then have coaching with Result and we have Spark support with Turn. And the two organizations support you holistically together. So Turn kind of focuses probably a little bit more on social enterprise development and sometimes just really getting deliverables done and holding you accountable with to-do lists and things like that. Results CSC, which Jane's going to talk about now, are specialist coaches looking at you as the individual and what do you want for your life, but also your organization. Jane, I'm going to pass over to you now to talk about the coaching element of the program.
Thank you, Luca. So maybe some of you, hang on, sorry, I've just lost Laura. This keeps happening. I'm looking at myself and I can't stand that. Laura, this is the terrible thing about being online with this shit, oh thank goodness. And I can hide myself, I hope. Oh, right. Now I can look at you. Sorry about that technical glitch. So, what is coaching? Have any of you had coaching already? Or maybe you are a coach? I don't know. Could anybody describe to me what it means for you? And I'll write the question in chat as well. What is coaching? I'd be interested in your definitions.
Can we answer?
Yeah,
Please
can
do.
you describe? Yeah.
Yeah, coaching is that someone can guide you to do something.
Right. Thank you for that. That
Yes. Can I also try?
that sounds like mentoring. Yeah. Yes. Hello. Hello.
Hi. I would say that coaching is an instrument that people can use in order to help another individual to develop in something. However, it's very different to mentoring, where you do not provide the actual answer on the problem, but you help the person by active listening and asking the right questions in order for them to get to the answer and solution of their own problem by their mind creativity.
Funny that it's good. Thank you for both the speakers. I'm sorry I didn't see the name of the speaker first time. My screen was wobbling around, but you've built a good definition. A couple of people talked about mentoring. That is really important, but it's different from coaching. Mentoring can be guidance. Somebody tells you, I did it well. Follow me. Follow in my steps. That's not coaching. Sonia was closer to the definition. Coaching is about reaching inside yourself and working out the best methods for yourself. It's based on the idea that you know yourself best. Helena, yes. Hi. Got your hand up. No, okay, sorry. Anyone else want to comment on that? Has anybody had coaching already? Maybe you've tried that.
Yeah, I had such experience. It's someone who asks a real, very valuable question about idea, about the way. It's very useful, really.
Good point. Thank you, Irina. That the coach is trying to ask very, how to say, searching questions. They also are trying to listen out for how you express yourself. Sometimes they will reflect back to you, repeat. You said this word, what did that mean? They catch things. They're helping you to clarify how you think, to really get to know yourself well. That's the idea. Could we have the next slide? Have a quick look at the definition we put there. You did well. Right, so you've summed it up really beautifully. So coaching, I've heard it described as listening with care. So maybe you find that funny because I'm deaf, but listening is different to hearing. I can't hear, but I can listen, and all our coaches are good listeners. So it's there to help to support you to achieve your goals. But perhaps at first, what's more important, what actually are your goals? So you may well say, I want to run my own business, fine, but that's very general. It's about developing the clearest possible goals, really. Where do you need to be next? What are the steps you need to take? Make sure that you feel it deeply, that those goals really motivate you. They're your goals, not someone else's. Not somebody said you should do this, Ali or Bessie or Esan. No, what do you want to do for yourself? It is practical, it's forward-looking. Right? You're here now, where do you want to go ahead? How can you get there? And again, the best way for you, the best method for Ksenia will be very different to the method for Lucas or Ali or Mustafa. It's drawing on your own strengths. Some of you are great with social media, for example. Some of you operate in the digital sphere. Maybe you're visual, maybe you're an artist like Oksana. It's using the things you're naturally good at in the best way. The final point is don't worry about that, but the coach will challenge you if necessary, if they feel that you're not heading in a good direction for yourself. So it's encouraging mixed with challenging. Okay, so there'll be three sessions that you have with your coach. And what Lucas said earlier, you have the brilliant regular spark sessions, and that's like the building block of your business. What's the legal status? How do I open a bank account? How do I develop my brand? There's a lot to think about. And it's fantastic service that Lucas and Project Holo offer. What we offer is about you, the person, because you are the business to start with, and you really need to know yourself well, and we hope that the two types of support complement each other. Let's have the next slide. So it's just a summary here. On the right, there were some things you mentioned, and in mentoring, actually you get guidance, somebody teaches or tells you what to do. Sometimes there's a little bit of overlap, but generally the coaching is actually led by you. Which way would you like to walk? Okay. We don't put unrealistic pressure. You will make a kind of informal agreement with your coach at the end of the session. What will you do now? What you're doing next is a verbal agreement. If you break it, okay, but if you keep it, you make progress. It's based on the idea that when we decide what to do for ourselves and we tell another person, it creates a bond and a contract with you, and you're more likely to achieve it. Do you have any questions at this point about the coaching? Each session is about 1 hour and it will happen online, and some of our coaches can operate in other community languages, usually English, but that is a possibility for some of you if you need it. Can we go to the next slide then, please? So this is the date range for each session. Starting quite soon, 2nd of December, it's not far. Try to get your first session in before the new year if you can. So we spread out the sessions, and then in February, March, when you're getting going with your business. And then May to June, you'll set this up with your coach. And I'm going to show you these lovely people who will be your coaches in a moment. Any questions before we go on to talk about the coaches? Anybody worried about anything? So, Mia, thank you for the question. It's performance driven. Oh, that's a very juicy question. Is it performance driven? Oh, I like that. I've got a colleague who would love that question. First question. So I hope this doesn't annoy you, mate. It's more up to you. Some people will be motivated by wanting to improve performance. So that could be the direction you go in. Other people may be motivated by something else. For example, personal self-confidence. Maybe the way you manage your everyday life. Remember that how you manage your everyday life can really affect whether you can run a business, because the two can get merged. No, so it could be a number of things. So my answer is it can be more. And the second question, to what extent is coaching a collaborative task? That's a great question. I would love to coach you. I'd say the coaching conversation, yes, it's definitely a collaborative task, except that you lead. It's not equal. You're being supported to bring out what you definitely want for yourself. It's an in-depth conversation. and you will be expected to take the lead. Right, so our friends asked a great question. I get asked that a lot. So football coaching, this is Lucas's field rather than mine. I think I'm probably Professor Howell and definitely my little brother who's a football fan. But is it okay, Lucas, to say it's different? That's a fair question about football coaching. Do you want to respond?
Yeah, it's very, very different. I coach football and I'm a qualified coach, and they are worlds apart. But some similarities, but they're very different.
You rescued me there. I thought I was going to have to talk about football. I'm trying to learn so that I can have good conversations with my little. Okay, but it's true they're different because you're absolutely right. Our son, a football coach, will say, let's do it this way. Let's use this strategy. Let's use this technique. And the coach will not be an expert in you. You are the expert in you. That's the difference. Okay, the next slide is giving you some tips about how to make the most of your coaching. So take a little bit of time, please, to think before you arrive. You'll have the email address, probably phone number for your coach. It's so valuable as a coach to just get an idea beforehand. What would you like to look at? What questions are on your mind about yourself, your progress? Or what barriers are you facing? What topic do you feel is important to focus on? And just tell, okay, one line in an email or a message. At the end of the coaching, you will agree actions. Do your best to carry them out. Take the actions if you can. Sometimes we can't. Life happens. We have problems, we have conflicts, we have things going on. Of course, we understand. But if you can, do your best because you'll feel the progress better. In the coaching session, please feel safe. It's a confidential conversation. So be as open as you can, as open and honest as you can. Also enjoy it. It's a really good opportunity to discover things about yourself. Okay, less of the talk, some more. Let's move on to the next slide and find out who will be coaching you. One more, and see if your name is there. He's working with 5 of you, and he'll be contacting you. And he has been a refugee, has extensive experience of working as a coach and a trainer and a developer of business. So we're really looking forward to what happens and the conversations you have with him. And then the next person. Next slide. This is Catherine. And she is a British woman working in London and has a lot of experience of being marginalised and excluded. And she also lives with a long-term health condition and has to handle this and runs her own business. And she worked last year on this programme and did so well. You saw Valerie earlier. Catherine was her coach. So look for your names there. I have Hormos, who is my comrade in arms at Results and was co-director until just a few weeks ago. And he's originally from Iran and came to the UK and was a refugee here initially after the revolution, and a very, very experienced coach. He's working with you, Mustafa Uksan and Al-Nuris. Finally, last but definitely not least, we have our new co-director at Resort, Saif Ali. And if you're having Saif as your coach, you want to look at his TEDx talk, Mass, a very powerful talk called From Seeking Asylum, which he did for a long time, to Seeking Purpose. A very powerful 15-minute talk. So watch it anyway, because I think it will inspire you, but particularly if you're going to be working with, say, a visual coach, you know where he's coming from. So, are you clear about who you're working with, what's going to happen? These guys will be contacting you very soon. We'll post on your email addresses. They'll use email unless you prefer a different method. I'll start to find some dates and time for your first sessions. Any questions, folks, about that? It's an exciting process. I still have coaching as a coach, always learning new things.
Can I just ask if there are any sorts of how can I word that, like interactivities, or like activities which are happening within different teams by different coaches, where we can have those practical interactions, and coming at different specific stages of our startup. I hope I'm clear.
As I'm having the same coach, do they get together? Is that what you'd like, an action learning set, maybe?
Yeah, Jane, what I was trying to say is, because there are different group. What I was trying to say, are there any internal like communications or like interactions between these groups and people?
Yeah. Lucas, do you want to talk about that? I mean, there's going to be various options. I know the famous WhatsApp is one of them, but yes, that's a good question. Thank you. Thank you for your patience in articulating.
Yeah, Esan, just to say, we're gonna be meeting as a group at the workshops. I'm gonna talk, we'll have breakouts in the workshops a lot, so you'll be with fellow entrepreneurs and also facilitators and things. And then we're hopefully gonna have a meetup in London where we can all come together in March. That's to be confirmed still, but we are hopefully doing that. But I think the coaching element of this, and meeting the coaches and things, hopefully we'll be able to arrange that as well. But the coaching side of things is very much an individual journey. And as Jane said, it's a confidential conversation that. And I'm going to talk more about the Spark support around the business side of things. But that coaching element is that kind of one-on-one, really, where you can focus on yourself and set those goals for yourself. But there will be moments to meet the rest of the cohort as well.
Thanks, Lucas.
Okay. So back to Lucas.
Thank you so much, Jane. And maybe this will make a little bit more sense about the partnership that we have when if I just sort of explain now what we do, myself and Bija Saholo. So you've heard about the coaching, but now I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the Spark team and the Spark support and what that actually is. So the Spark support is delivered by myself and Bija Saholo. And what we do is we provide 1 hour phone calls, usually online, where we work with you for an hour. The cadence of it is usually about once every 2 weeks. It's usually whenever there's not a workshop, we are available to work with you one-on-one. So it's a little bit more frequently than coaching, but what we do is we work specifically on a topic of your choice. So we could be working on financial planning. Maybe we're working on registration. Maybe we're working on grants and helping to write grants. We do that quite a lot towards the end of the program. Maybe we're helping on social media or on branding. There's lots of different topics that I'm going to talk about, but it's driven by you and where you're at the time with your social startup. We will try to always use specific social enterprise tools that I'm going to be talking about, but it's a place for you to ask questions and to get advice from us, because both Bija Saholo and myself have quite a lot of experience of working, helping to sort of set up small organizations on the grassroots. And so it's easier than trying to find loads of information on the internet. So, you know, how do you register, for example? We have a workshop on it, but then maybe as well, you can ask us questions and we'll be able to explain things quicker than trying to find it on Google. Or we can explain what financial forecasting is, or we can proofread grant applications. The most important thing is that you come to these sessions prepared and you do all of the pre-agreed work, right? Because otherwise we're not going to be able to move forward with it. So the workshops very much frame what we're doing, but then you need to do a lot of the work in your own time. And then you come to the sessions with me and BJ Saholo to be able to finalize the work, set more to-dos, and to drive things forward a little bit. Okay, so that's the most important thing from us, is that you really come prepared and ready for it. If you need to move a session, you need more time, we're super relaxed and we're very flexible. So please just tell us. Okay, this is not school, and I think this is a really important thing to say now. It's not school, it's not university. This is a program which is driven by you. It's what you make of it, right? It's up to you how much you want to engage with it. But I promise you now, the more you engage with it, and Fuad has just joined the call and he's going to say the same thing, the more you engage with it, the more you will get from this. The more you engage with coaching, the more you engage with workshops, the more you get engaged with Spark support, the more you will get from it. Okay, that is my biggest piece of advice for this entire program. So what's actually involved in Spark support? Well, we have strategy sessions sometimes where we help you think, what is your plan going forward? What do you know, sometimes that means like breaking down what is it that you're actually doing. It's quite hard sometimes to say what you're doing in a very short space of time. So we'll help you to develop what an MVP is called, a minimum viable product or valuable product, and work on your social business plan. We'll help you to look at your impact. Everybody's making impact, but how do you say what the impact is that you're having, and how do you model it for the future? We'll help you with access to finance support. So we'll help you either with crowdfunding or with grants. Last year, we helped 9 entrepreneurs raise £50,000 collectively. For early stage startups, that's about an average of £5,500 per startup, which is a lot in the very early stages, right? We'll help you to analyze different funding avenues. So we'll help you to pick what's the best one for you. Sometimes grants have criteria. And so we'll help you to analyze whether it's right for you or not. We'll help you develop a brand, but also develop a marketing digital online presence. So you can have a name, you can have a color palette, and you can be known on the online world, but also in publications that you do. We'll help you with financial planning. BJ Saholo is leading on that this year, but you'll have a specific financial planning element to be able to work on as well. We'll help you with a pitch deck, with storytelling. We'll help you with registration, compliance, legal matters, the slightly complicated stuff that isn't actually that complicated, but we'll give you the options as to how you want to register. There's many different ways to register. And we will help you identify opportunities and partnerships. And this is really important. Fuad, who's on the call, he didn't have any grants, but he has had a lot of opportunities and partnerships, which he's made the most of, and is now running a thriving, successful business I'll be able to tell you about. So we'll help to tailor things for your needs. Maybe it's not grants, but there could be a cool partnership or opportunity out there that you could go for instead. We ask you to please book these sessions, right? And you determine the topic. Please come prepared, do all the pre-agreed work. Join with a laptop. It makes it much easier for collaboration. And the Spark sessions build off of the workshops. And this is your program. So make the most of the support available. Now, I just want to show like what I think is quite handy for you to be able to see as a timeline. So we're running all the way up to June. Okay, our graduation date is already set as the 17th of June. That is during Refugee Week. And this is sort of where it really gets busy is January. So we've got 2 workshops this side of the new year, and we're going to be focusing on your social business plan. What's your mission? What's your vision? What are your values? And what is your impact that you want to have? And then in the new year, we're going to be looking at registration. We're going to be looking at your financial plan. We're going to be looking at writing grant applications. We're going to be developing brands. We're going to be building networks and partnerships. And then we're going to get towards the end of the program into this storytelling. So how do you say this in 5 minutes? or 7.5 minutes actually is what we give you. But how do you say this in 7.5 minutes? So all of that is leading up to this graduation on the final showcase where you will be able to present this to your idea, present your social startup to people that are working in the third sector, that are working in social enterprise, that you will be able to network with. All right. Now you do that, all of this through workshops, but also this Spark support. So you can book a 1-hour session. So we've split into cohorts. There will be times in the program where you may work with Bija Saholo and me, right? We sometimes do specific elements around social media or around grant writing. So we do specific elements, and we'll make new Calendly links. But how you book a session with me is you scan this QR code or you visit the link, which is in the WhatsApp group, okay? And you just book a session with me when I am available at the time that you're available, okay? So these people will book with me, everybody that you can see here. And then these people will book with Bija Saholo, okay? So those are the two cohorts. It says this in your WhatsApp group, and I said this also, who is the coach in the WhatsApp group yesterday. Now, the one thing I didn't send yesterday was this, the information page for Ideas into Action and the schedule. So if everybody would like to take down these bit.ly links, or Bija Saholo, maybe you could post them in the chat. They're also in your WhatsApp group, but this holds a lot of information about the program and the schedule. I would show you this very, very shortly. But what you can find on this information page is you can find a lot of really detailed information about social enterprise. You can meet the team, but also you can find out different workshops which have been recorded and more information which is held in the Turn kind of database that exists, right? But also there's the schedule. So you just be able to stay up to track as to when everything is happening, right? So at the moment we've got workshops, there are 10, but they don't average out every week or every 2 weeks. They're kind of sporadically placed. So have a look at when they are, okay? And make sure you understand and know when the schedule and what is happening. I'll show you that in a second. We also have a WhatsApp group. This is going to be like #1 communication area. Trust me, by June, you're going to be very happy to not hear from me anymore, because I'm going to be messaging you once, twice, 3 times a week, okay? If it's too much, just say, Lucas, it's too much. Just give me the reminders. It's absolutely fine. But we do try to share opportunities here. It's also a good space to be able to message any questions you have, or if you want us to review something, a piece of work or something like that. So we do use WhatsApp a lot. We've also made everybody a Google Drive. So you would have got a share link today. And the Google Drive, you can scan this QR code and it will take you to your very own Google Drive. The link is also in the WhatsApp group. And I'm going to send you an email tomorrow with all these links. So don't worry about taking them all down now, is where we're going to have social enterprise tools. Based on feedback, we're not giving you every single tool this year. What we're doing is we're giving you them one by one as we teach them, because otherwise we know it's a little bit too intense and there's a little bit too much stuff. So we're going to do it bit by bit this year. Okay, so I'll just very quickly demo a little bit about Calendly, first of all. So I'm on Bija Saholo's here. So there's a Spark support session. So if you click the link, you'll end up here. And let's say I want to meet with Bija Saholo on the 2nd of December. I would just click here and I choose a time that works for me. So I'm going to meet with Bija Saholo at 2 o'clock, and I'll click next, and I'll put my name in here and my email, and I'll say I want to meet Google online. You can come to the office as well if you want to. Well, offices are based in London, in East London, and you can explain what it is that you want to work on. So I want to work on my brand, and then I would tick here branding, and I would schedule the event. What would happen? Bija Saholo on the other side, he then knows, okay, Lucas has booked a call with me and we're going to be working on the branding. It helps us to prepare, but it's as simple as that. And it works around when you're available and when we're available. So it's much easier to do that way. Okay. So that is the Calendly booking system. There is also, Mia, I'm using yours. I hope you don't mind, but this is what the Google Drive looks like. So this is the main tool at the moment that we'll be using, the social business plan tool. Okay, but in here you have registration, finance, brand and marketing and pitching. And what we will do is we will put tools into there when it's the right time, because we don't want to overload you with tools straight away, right? We want to put them in there when it's the right time, and we will tell you. But you can also use this to save information. You can write a document. And the reason why we use it is because it's a great way, because you can just say, Lucas, Bijasaholo, have a look at this document. It's in the Google Drive. I know exactly where to go and I can go into it. All right. It's a good shared learning space. The only people that have access to this are myself, Bijasaholo, and yourselves, and then people from the Turn team as well. If you want your coaches to have access as well, we can give them specific access for it, for something, for a coaching session, if that's what you want as well. Okay. So that's the Google Drive. And this is our, don't worry, I know it's a lot of information, guys. You're going to get this in an email tomorrow, and you can go through it at your own pace. Okay, don't worry about it now. But this is our lovely Notion page, which Bijasaholo has been building for the last 10 days. Thank you. And this one here basically is our guide, and you can go through it and you can see everything about the program. Look, you can meet your coaches here as well, right? There's your coaches. You can find out more about me and Bijasaholo, okay? And then there's loads. You can book here if you ever lose the link. But really importantly, there's the schedule here. So if you just click in the schedule, this is kind of like a website. It's like our website with information, basically. But it's called Notion, or the information page. And this tells you when everything is happening, okay? So you've got all of the dates here. You've got all of the workshops that are happening, and you can see that, and it's sorted by date. All right. So that is our schedule and information page. Now, I know that's a lot of information, but don't worry, because I'm going to send it all to you tomorrow. But even better, to tell you just about their experience in the program, I want to introduce Fuad Al-Kadi, the founder of Shift Up and 2024 Ideas into Action alumni. And he's going to do a much better job than me, probably, in actually saying why this program is really great and what it did for him. Fuad, you are here. That's great. Thank you. We're going to do a very chilled Q&A. So Fuad, I'm going to hand over to you now for the last 15 minutes.
Thank you, Lucas. I'm really happy to be here. Can you hear me well, guys?
Hello, glad to see you.
Thank you, guys. I'm really happy to see. I know most of you, and I'm really happy that you are you're already continuing like what you started before. So just I will not be speaking for too long. I'll just say that I am Fuad. You always know the joke about my name. It's how you pronounce it. How you add sugar to coffee, but put Fu next to it. So it's Fuad. Nice to meet you all. I am the founder of Shift Up. It's an organization to deliver training for organizations that work with young people, which means I deliver training for staff and organization, for staff and young people. For staff, I do training about lived experience, youth participation, and how to change structure and policies inside the organization to make it more participatory in high decision-making levels. And with young people, we do action research and leadership programs and co-production. I started last year. I started like a little bit before when I started like the Up Collective, starting with the hummus machine making. That was my initial idea, and went up to starting this business. I remember like last year at this time, I was trying to set my business plan, like what you are going to do soon. And I'm starting to do the business plan. And thank God at this day, I have like a year from now, I think a year from when we started the program, I have around 10 logos that I worked with the organ, I delivered training and services. And yesterday I just signed the contract I won a tender with the Refugee Council to deliver one with their work in the in how to develop staff with lived experience. So soon that will be your story, guys. You were telling us like your success stories. So this is just quickly. I delivered like a training with the Red Cross. I consider this as a milestone as well. 2 weeks ago, I'm really happy about it. But like it all starts with you guys deciding to start working on what you are planning to do now. And actually, I'm not just like, it's not just because I graduated from this program, but it's actually one of the like the best thing that happened to me, that I started this program contacting with Lucas, who was my coach, and Yatin from Results IC. With their support, I've been able to, sometimes you forget yourself in the details about like what I'm going to sign, how I'm going to design this, what I'm going to do with that. However, they always like some people to support you to go in the right way, to just to remind you, you focus in here and we will help you on the whole time. So you focus on the full picture. I don't want to say like just jargons and like positive, like, crystal things. I just want to say this progress, it's actually led by you. So if you don't work in what you're supposed to work, you actually choosing to stop at this point. However, you give it work and time and commitment, you give yourself a better, let's say, step forward or a bigger step forward to go, because you are actually the leader. And I loved how Lucas said it's not like a college or a school or a university, because you are actually the leader of this work. You can actually stop, you can actually continue, and whatever time you give to this program, it will give you back results. And you will see how like each step you will go and go back. Actually, I used my business plan today to submit for another tender I'm planning I'm trying to achieve. So I actually used it. You will see, you will use this so many times, and you will be visiting that so many times. And through this progress, when I was talking to Lucas every week, I think, or sometimes twice a week, I don't want to reveal that, sometimes 4 times a week, but but like in this process, you have so much like sometimes stress, concerns, so many stuff you do. And I always turn to Yatin about this to support me, to understand what's holding me back in some places and what bring me the power to go and continue what I'm working on. So I love the work we did in the progress. And to finish that, if you have any questions, I just want to say like few tips from my side to you guys. It's actually the first step to be in a business. It's a real thing. Like whatever you bring, time, effort, work, it will give you, it will get back to you in a very good positive result. The other thing, the more you are committed to do the work between the sessions and come to the next session ready to learn the new thing and develop what you are learning, it will be actually helpful for you. And sometimes you will feel like this is not a tip, this is like just like a observation. Sometimes you will feel that that's too much, I cannot do that anymore. You want to stop the work. Sometimes like I just want like to stop, delete the files, and like just like I cannot do this anymore. And then in one moment, just like, yeah, I know it's hard, and sometimes it's super easy, and some like it's about your perspective on it and what you find interesting and that you find like challenging. But like actually working in this structured way give you the help to achieve whatever you want. And I didn't imagine myself saying that actually after 1 year I achieved what I achieved now with Shift Up, because it's reality. I'm happy about it. And I didn't imagine I will be doing this, and it went like more than even what I think about. So thank you guys for listening to me. I just want to blabber more. If you have any more questions, please ask me. Experience, anything personal, shift up. If you want a connection, if you want me to deliver training for you, whatever you want.
Thank you, Fuad. Always making partnerships, this guy. But that's great. We love that. Has anyone got any questions for Fuad about the program? This is a safe space. You can ask him anything. Maybe he can tell you how many times I hounded him to change his business plan. But no, we work together almost like colleagues, I think, is a nice way of putting it, isn't it? And back and forth and things. But has anyone got any questions for Fuad about his experience? Any top tips, anything like that? Don't be shy, guys.
Can I ask?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Just one question. So, I feel like I got a lot of ideas for running my business. Have you focused just for one, or you not was confident when you just start?
Thank you for this question, Natalie. I feel when I started, I have so many things I want to do. My sessions with Lucas helped me to rearrange my priorities and what to focus on to start now and how to develop later. So which means I didn't throw other ideas. I still have them until now as a plan to go to in the future. I hope that's helpful. But like when you are going to do the the MVP, the minimum viable product in the process, you will know what to focus on and why you want to focus on. And then you can add your ideas later one by one. And you can change all the time. Nothing set in stones. So, but yeah, you have so many ideas, but like in the process, it goes like better and better. I hope that was helpful.
Al-Najaz, you had your hand up.
Thank you, Lucas, and it's nice to meet you again, Fuad. I have two questions.
Thank you,
I'll
Najaz.
start with the first one. So the first question is, was there any frustrating point that you've faced, and what was that point, and how did you solve it? How did you overcome it?
Yeah, I will be straightforward with you. The main point for me, the frustrating point was when I reached the point when I found myself that I am procrastinate the work because I don't want to fail. So I feel like in some places, I know what I'm going to do. I have a plan in my head. However, I don't want to test it because my idea will be like subjected to some kind of like fear. So I'm just procrastinating stuff. Even like, so that helped me in the future. Like, I don't know if that will help, but like just doing it was the main like overcome procrastination. And inside the program, I remember like why my business plan is not getting the final shape. Like it never comes to the final shape. So I have to go because you will update it at loads and loads of time, and it will take different kind of ways while you are developing this. And actually, I don't want to stuck with like perfectionist. I just like think what I'm doing, developing by time. Along the way, you will find always a better version of what you are doing right now, your own work. Thank you, Narjis. Mir, is it?
Yes, thank you so much for that's very inspiring. I put a question in the chat. Actually, I don't know. I feel deciding to become an entrepreneur is like deciding to become a warrior. You might hear a lot from a lot of people saying give up, or this idea is not practical, or maybe go do something else. Maybe I don't know. At least this is how I felt. But I've been giving positive energy to myself to stay positive. But I wonder what are your tips, or what have been your tips in terms of staying strong, having the resilience, and continuing so that help you reach this stage that your business now is shift up, is running, and
yeah.
is life. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank
That's like amazing question. And in some places until this moment, I feel like I'm floating in between that I did good work. I need more support. I still annoy Lucas until this point, like saying that happened to me after we finished the program. I'm saying like that happened to me. Can you help me in that? And he's been like great in his help. However, actually put realistic point to achieve, it was the main kind of process. I don't want to say, okay, I will be popular in the next 6 months. That will never happen. However, when I set a goal to be like, I will contact 20 organizations about my services. So it set a timeline for myself. So achieving those, and I don't know if that's like, it will be good for you as well. I believe working and deciding how you will develop which means like measuring your success, not just by money, but like measure it by how many connections you have done until now. You have to measure these aspects in your work in order to see that, oh, okay, I'm achieving something better now. And if you hold what I learned, whenever you hold in one place, you can actually undo as easy as that. And that was helpful for me. Thank you guys for your question.
Thanks.
so much.
I just had a quick question, maybe two questions. The first question is how did you keep the balance between the attending the sessions at 10 and also with your personal job, if you had one? And the second
yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Second question is how did you obtain the first budget or finance for your startup?
Thank you very much. I have to turn off the camera just because of the bad connection. So I'll start with the first one, which is actually I decide to choose a part-time work for 3 days a week in order for me to hold the time to deliver the rest of 2 days. However, in my work, in my course, there were so many people anyway doing the work with the full-time job as well. And whenever their work get developed later, they decided to go for their own business. I don't know if that was helpful, but like I actually had to dedicate the time for me to work on that's how I balance. I just work for 2 days a week. And 3 days a week, sorry. And on my business, I worked for another 2 days. The other thing is, can you repeat the other question, please? Sorry, I just feel like I didn't get.
Do you want me to repeat the second question?
Yes, please.
Yes, Fawad, I was asking how did you get the finance or the budget or the funding for your first startup?
Oh yeah. So in my work, it's a little bit different. It's just because what I need for my business actually is for me to find a customer, because it's based on delivery training, which means like I find an organization and I do the training. So my capital, or what I'm doing the work with, is based on my ideas and how I deliver the work. So it was minimum spending. However, in the progress, we have like the financial session. There are so many opportunities for you to start funding your own business and to find and so many ways to tell you how to start. It depends on how you are going to go. Is it like a company, a CIC, a charity? For me, I'm going for LTD. So it depends on what kind of work you are going to do. But like there are so many information about that throughout the program. I hope that was helpful, Hassan.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was really helpful. Thanks.
Thank you.
Fuad, thank you so much. We're going to have to wrap up there because I've just seen the time. If you could pop your LinkedIn in the chat, Fuad, and people can connect with Fuad, that'd be great. And I just very quickly, I'm aware it's 7:30. A couple of people said, but what happens in June? What happens then? Trust me, by then you'll be flying anyway, and you'll be joining a alumni all of these guys are part of as well. And as Fuad says, he still messages me from time to time, and that's absolutely fine. And we're looking at ways to be able to really develop our alumni support going forward. So please don't worry. It's not like program and then done. You know, we really are trying to develop that. Jane, you have your hand up.
Thinking that statistically, ideas interaction businesses do better by about 1/3 than any businesses. If you look at the statistics, so it's amazing, I think, because it's just generally across the UK, people starting businesses, startups, you know, ideas interaction does better. So be inspired by that.
And I think that's a really nice point. And I think I have the statistic, which is 40 graduates and 31 trading. So it's a pretty good turnaround. I think it's something like 70% or 65 or something like that. So that, you know, and that's after 3 editions as well. So people in the first one, for instance, let's have a look. Where is it? Oh, there's so many brands out. There we go. Yusuf, Experts by Experience, for example, he graduated in March 2022. June 2022, very, very early anyway. So he's still going very, very strong. So, you know, there's a high success rate, and also people are still going. So as Jane says, you know, there's reasons to be positive. My top tips for you: make sure to block time for workshops in your calendar. Don't forget about them. Do attend them. You get more from it being on a workshop and doing it in person than online. Then recorded. They're all online, most of them. Book coaching and Spark. Be proactive. You know, when you get an email from a coach, email them back quickly. You know, don't ask people chasers and things like that, because, you know, you should be booking these. Come to the Spark sessions with clear topics in mind. Less is more in these. We're not going to cover everything in 1 hour, but we can do a lot of work on one specific area. And believe in actually starting your social enterprise during this program. It's not just a program. We actually do generate social enterprises. So really believe in that. If you've already got a social enterprise or you're already doing stuff, believe in taking it further and being able to get what you want to get in terms of finance or in terms of, you know, exposure or partnerships. Use the program guide. There's so much information in there. Spend time in it, have a look at it, and ask questions. We are here to help you, right? And asking questions is a great way of making the most of it. You may have been able to get from today, Jane, Bija Saholo, and I hope myself as well, are very, very supportive, kind people, right? We're here to help you, and we're non-judgmental, and it's a safe place. It's a safe space, you know, and there's no such thing as a silly question. Everything that I know that I'll help you with, I have learned and asked somebody else for, you know. So please, there's no such thing as a silly question, and ask questions. We're here to help you. We're here to work with you, and we're here on this journey. Finally, a little reminder: workshop number 1. I've spelled social wrong. Sorry about that, but it is a social business plan 1. My mission, my vision, my values. So we really want to try to nail what it is that you're actually doing. And that's next Wednesday, the 27th of November, online on Zoom. Now, this is the only time we're going to have a different link. And the reason why, somebody else is using the link that I usually use, and that's fine. I'm going to create a new one, but I'll send it to you, okay? So we'll join with a new link next week. I'll send it to you on Monday. Just to say, I have to go away this week. I will try and be online on WhatsApps, but I probably won't be that available. I'm going to send you an email tomorrow morning, but Bija Saholo will be around on WhatsApp if you have questions. But if you don't hear from me quickly, I'm not ignoring you. It's because I'm out the country. Okay, so just FYI, I'm back on Monday, but if you don't hear from me, I've got a flight tomorrow morning very early. So if you don't hear from me, that's why. All right. But I'm not running away. I'm not suddenly panicking. I am still around. There's an email coming with all of the links from today. Thank you for the extra 7 minutes of your time. I'm going to blame that on the technical difficulties I had this morning. So I'm tired. Not this morning, the technical difficulties I had at the beginning of the session. Please, we always ask for feedback here at Ideas into Action. If you could scan this QR code, just leave us a bit of feedback. I'd love to hear what you thought about this first session. You know, we are not doing all the tools this year straight away based on feedback. So we do change things based on that. I hope it was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for an extra 8 minutes of your evening. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday evening. And really, honestly, I can speak for myself. Maybe Jane's got something to say as well after this, but I'm so excited to get going on this. It's going to be an amazing 7 months, and I can't wait to really start putting your ideas into action. Jane, have you got anything to say at all? Anything to add?
I'm in awe of you. Honestly, I can feel the power of what you can do. I'm not just saying that, you know. What a smart group you are, with so much rich experience, and you're coming across as so open and human. You've got great analytical minds, you know. You will go far. I think it will be fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bijaholo, anything? Any final words?
Well, just want to say, I'm really, really deeply inspired by all of you and all the wonderful ideas that you're coming up with. I'm so excited and I can't wait to start. And I hope you guys should feel that excitement too that all of us have about your ideas. So to all of you, this is just the beginning, and let's all stay motivated and keep everything going, all right? Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much. Okay, guys, have a lovely evening. We'll see you soon, and we'll be on touch online. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice